Well, it's that time again. It's essential oils time. I am Trixie Overcashier, and I have just been learning so much about essential oils. And hopefully you saw my first video where I shared all about frankincense oil and how to remove sunspots and moles and kind of the concept with that. I think I also spoke about grapefruit oil. So I've gathered a ton more information here. I've got all my stuff ready for you. I'm just going to try to keep this as simple as possible. And to be honest with you, that's why I'm doing these videos, is because I was very overwhelmed when I started learning about essential oils. My favorite book that I have found so far is this book here, The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy. And it's by Valerie Ann Warwood. And I'm having a blast with it, but as you can see, it's a lot of information. And as I'm watching videos and attending seminars and just really trying to understand this whole essential oils thing and how it can help you improve your health, that there's just so much information, and it's actually overwhelming, and there's stuff all about blending, and I feel like you have to have every oil in the universe to be able to make it work, and that's not true. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try to keep things really simple. I'm trying to keep my remedies simple, just from what I glean and what I'm learning myself. I did get one of these cases for my oils, so I've got some of them in here with the labels on the top, and then all the rest are on my table back here, but this is full. And this, I'm gonna look like the crazy oil lady, I'm sure, but I'll tell you, there's just so many things that it's helping with that it's worth it. It's worth me learning about it, and it's worth you learning about it too and how they can help you. So I would tell you, oils last about 2 years. So I would just go through the catalog and start ordering, like in bundles and bunches. And the brand that I'm choosing to use is Pure Essential Oils, and that is by my wellness company. And in their catalog, I love the pricing compared to anything else that's available. But if you use a different brand, I would just say be really, really careful about making sure that it's true essential oils, and that they're pure. Let me just share with you one of the things that made sense to me, that made me understand why oils work and really what they are. Essential oils, if you can consider them the lifeblood of a plant. They circulate all through the plant tissue and carry nutrition to the cells and waste out. So nutrition to the cells and waste out. Thus, the essential part, without them, that plant would die. So here's the interesting thing. When high quality essential oils are applied to your skin, they do basically the same task that they do while they're inside that plant. So they quickly permeate the cell walls and your skin and deliver the nutrition that it's needed, and it removes the waste. As they do this, they help clean the receptor sites of the cells. And the receptors that are easily disrupted by heavy metals and petrochemicals and the chemicals found in plastics. This cleansing effect helps to restore the balance to your body, which ultimately helps you feel better. So I pulled that just from an article, one of the many articles that I've been reading lately. And I thought, okay, so that really does make sense to me. So a few weeks ago in my other video, I was using frankincense oil, and then I also used some lemon oil to lift a sunspot that was on my face. And today you can still see there's just a little red spot there, but I will tell you, it's not brown, it's new skin. So in the process, what happened, it got very dark brown as it was lifting, and then it peeled off, and it actually kind of kept peeling off, and now it's this fresh little patch of skin. And as I watch that heal, it will blend obviously with the rest of my skin. So that to me was very exciting. And I'm also still treating a sunspot up here. And then there was a sunspot that I got rid of down here, and a old mole. I was so surprised. One that I had removed. For some reason, it was kind of itchy and stuff. So I started treating that, and that lifted, and I was really surprised. So there was just a lot of really good things to happen. So if you're not receiving results and you've been following what I told you to do in the first place with your oils, I'm going to give you a little bit more aggressive way to go at it. A few things that you're going to need is a Q-tip, a cotton ball, a Band-Aid, and a little pair of scissors, and then your oils that you'll be using. And it's very simple. All I do is I either pull off or I cut off the end of the Q-tip. And the reason why I do that is because it just gives you just the small amount of cotton that you need. Now, if you don't have a Q-tip, then just cut a piece of regular cotton off. But then that's going to be the other thing that I do. So I have my little round piece here that's the perfect size of my mole or my sunspot or whatever it is that I want to aggressively go after. And then I'm going to cut just a little piece of cotton from the cotton ball. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to soak this little one in the frankincense. I'm going to apply it to the whatever I'm trying to treat. And then I'm going to put this one over it because this is very absorbent. And so I'm just going to put it over it. And then I'm going to take the Band-Aid and just simply open that up. And I am going to stick it on, try doing this. I'm going to stick it on the spot. So let's see if I can do this. And so that it holds it in place. And I'm going to do that overnight. So now, instead of just applying the frankincense, I've applied the frankincense and it's kind of soaking in it. Now, I will warn you, the first time that I did this, I did it on my spot that was on my chest, which by the way is gone. And I did it on this spot here and there was a burning sensation. And I got a little freaked out and I was like, oh, is it supposed to be doing that? But it burned and it just kind of did that for like 2 hours. And I will tell you what it's doing. It's lifting. It's going very deep, very penetrating, and it's pulling the toxins out. It's pulling that out. That's why it stings a little bit. So I did that 2 nights in a row. I know that's very aggressive, and then it really started doing its work. So if you're not receiving the results yet that you want to, try that little trick. And then also I started exfoliating, and there's several ways that you can exfoliate your face. Don't get mad because this is a little aggressive too. I have this little tiny, this is like a little razor that I got online. I just ordered like 6 of them at a time. And I found this little beauty secret, and I'll share that with you as well. But make sure you get the long one, not a little tiny short one. You don't want it to be like that short because there's more of a chance for you to cut yourself. But this long one, and this would be only for someone who has just that soft peach fuzzy hair on your face, not someone who's suffering from like extra facial hair. So this wouldn't be that coarse hair, but this is just the little peach fuzzy hair. And this is something that I learned a couple of weeks ago, just to remove the hair on your face, because I have very hairy face and it got very fuzzy down here and I just didn't like how that looked. And I thought, no, you really can't remove that. I've tried threading, which by the way, ow, I've tried waxing, and then I get the ingrown hairs and the little pockets in the piece. I'm like, oh, I don't like that either. So I just have some peach fuzz across here. I had some across here. I had some, like up on the sides up here. So all I did was I took this razor. Let's see if I can do this. And you just little movements like this down, just little tiny movements right down your skin. And I just removed the facial hair. No, you are not going to get a doggone beard. So don't worry about that. And it works great. I love how soft my face is. But the other thing that I learned about that is this is a great way to exfoliate. So when I had this mark here and it was starting to peel, and I was trying to peel it just really lightly with a little tweezers and that kind of stuff, I just ended up taking this down. I just kind of would just shaved like down on it, and it just peeled the dead skin right off of it. So this is another really great way to exfoliate. I use it here. I use it just a little bit up here so that my eyebrows can stay natural. So if you just have that facial hair that you want to remove, okay, I know that's not essential oils, but I found it to be a really great tip. So you can use that too. But anyway, so there's that. Okay, so with that, another thing that I realized is, okay, so you're going to learn a few private things about me. Here we go. I have had a I would call it a wart. I don't like to say that. I don't want to admit that I have a wart on my body. That makes me disgustingly sick. But I had a wart on the side of my fingernail, and I've had it for over 10 years. And my nail tech and myself called it a callus because that sounds nicer. But it was pretty much the full length of my nail. And I've tried everything to get rid of it. I froze it off. I burned it off. I've used, I couldn't get rid of it. So I thought I would do the trick where I took the cotton ball and I soaked it in the frankincense and I put it on there and it burned like crazy and did that for 2 days. And all of a sudden I started seeing this black stuff. I know that's gross. The black stuff came out of my finger. And now I believe it's just healing. So I'm just treating it very lightly now with the frankincense oil. But I'm telling you what, if I see you next and that wart is gone, hallelujah. You know, when you make these types of things happen in your life, you get a little excited. So those are a couple of things with the frankincense oil. You know, that is definitely one of my favorites. And the lemon is also great for sunspots. So I just did 2/3 the frankincense and 1/3 of lemon. And now I just mix it in my coconut oil or my almond oil and I put it on my face, and I put it on my face every single night. So it's just a great piece there. And then I'm also treating my neck. So the oils that you use straight, some of them you need a carrier oil, and it's usually like a vegetable oil, and you'll find what one works for you. I love coconut oil. I love the sweet almond oil. Those are 2 that I get from my company. But there's one that I found recently that I got from a health food store. It's called rosehip seed oil. And the rosehip seed oil is a very anti-aging carrier oil. And I've been mixing a few of the other oils in that, and I'm trying to treat my neck. I was very bad to my neck. You can see I have, you know, just total sunspots on my neck. And so and it's like patches, and I've tried treating that and doing it the other way. It didn't work. So I'm gonna really get aggressive with the rosehip oil and see how that turns out for me. So that is good. And then myrrh is another one that I've added to my arsenal. So that's another very popular oil that I'm learning a lot about. The other one that I kept reading about was rose. And the rose oil is very expensive in most places. So a good, and I don't want to say knockoff of the rose oil, is the geranium. I'm looking for it now. Let's see, where is my geranium? I don't know what happened to it. I must have put it away. So the geranium is not my favorite fragrance. I don't really care for that fragrance, and that's just a personal thing. But what I have found is if I don't like the fragrance to something, I can just add a little bit of orange, and it takes the smell away for me. So you might love it. I mean, maybe you'll go, oh, flowers, it smells so great. So good for you. But I personally don't like that one. But I'm using that one also, a mixture of the geranium and the rose hip and the frankincense and the lemon. I'm just kind of doing a blend together because I have a scar that I'm trying to get rid of, a scar. So I also have a girlfriend that I'm working with, and I'm going to put on this as well. She's got a very big scar from a surgery she had when she was young. So remember, if it's been there a long time, it's not going to go away in a week, but it's going to go away over time. So, you know, this is something you have to stay with it, and you have to just continue to treat it. You know, this sunspot had only been there probably 5 years. So, you know, it came off relatively easier. Whereas this, my gosh, that's been there at least 10 years. So you just have to be a little bit more patient when you're treating some of the things that you're treating. So find a carrier oil that works for you. And the rosehip seed oil, I got to back up. The rosehip seed oil, another thing that was good for was scars, stretch marks. And that's mainly what I'm trying to use that on. So you can mix a few of the oils within it. Again, that's a carrier oil. So you can use some of the essential oils in with that rosehip oil. So another one that you absolutely must have, and the company actually started with the Melaleuca oil and 8 products all based on the oil. You know, today they have over 500 products in their catalog and now have a whole line of essential oils, but this oil really started it all. The Melaleuca oil is a must-have in your arsenal. When you use this oil, you can use it on cuts, burns, scrapes, abrasions, bee stings, bug bites. You can use it for ear infections, sinus infections, strep throat, sore throat. foot fungus. You can use this on warts. You may even need to use, upgrade to a little bit different formula for the warts. But this has been a very great product to have to be able to mix with stuff. So here's a couple recipes for you with this. Now that the summertime is coming for most of you, you can take some of this oil and put it in the Renew lotion or in the sunscreen lotion that Melaleuca has. Remember, there's no parabens or any type of things like that from this company. So put it in that and you will give yourself a natural bug repellent. So this is helpful against bugs, and I like to have that right on my skin. Now, if I'm going out somewhere and I didn't use it on my skin, the next best thing is their Blend Natural Insect Repellent. This is a must-have. This is the best $6.50 you could buy. I think you should buy a few bottles as the summer is coming. But this one has 5 essential oils in it. It has the peppermint, it has cinnamon, lemongrass, thyme, and geranium. And this is 99% effective on ticks and on mosquitoes. So even when I go out, if I'm just going to dinner here, because a lot of the restaurants are outside here in Texas, I will just spritz my legs, especially if I'm wearing shorts, and my ankles. Very quick, easy. It smells great. So this is a must-have, but talk about already having your blend done. I don't have to worry about trying to mix and match and get the blend properly, and it's already in a proper carrier oil. So must-have the natural insect repellent, especially with, the diseases that some of the mosquitoes and ticks, like Lyme's disease and some of the other diseases that are huge down here for mosquitoes. Just protect yourself. And protect your children, for goodness sake. There is no DEET in that product. It's all essential oils. Okay, another trick that I want to tell you about is with the peppermint oil. The peppermint oil has been kind of fun. You have to be careful about this. Please do not use this on your skin directly. It burns. And you do need a carrier oil or a carrier lotion with this particular oil. But this is great for athletes. Here's why. One of the products that the company has is called Penetrate, and it's a pain cream, and that already has the Melaleuca oil in it. And it's got some other natural ingredients that help for muscle relief and that sort of thing. But if I'm a runner and my hamstrings get so tight when I'm running, it makes it very difficult for my first 2 miles. I can hardly function while my muscles are warming up. Well, or if you're going out to play softball, or if you're just going out to exercise and maybe you haven't exercised in a while, or if you have lower back pain, whatever it is, take a little bit of the Penetrate and put some peppermint oil. So I just hold it in my hand, I put the cream in there, and then mix the oil in it, and then mix it in my hand, and then you rub it on the sore muscles. This is going to move very quickly to relax and relieve those muscles of any type of pain. There's also a natural analgesic in here that'll help for a pain relief as well, but it warms up those muscles. Any runners who are going to do a marathon, have them rub it on their knees, their hips, and again, for me, my hamstrings. Many times people need it on their quads. Just a really great warm up before you go and do any type of exercise. Okay, another one that I want to mention is the Armor. This is a very unique blend. I know another company would call it thieves oil, and I've also seen it on the internet as thieves oil. But this Armor, let me tell you, this is one you definitely want in your home and using on a regular basis. Let me give you some uses. Obviously, the diffuser is a great way to use it. But here's why. If you use it in your diffuser, there's cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, lemon, and rosemary. Now, clove and rosemary are 2 things that help for depression. They do help lift your mood. Now, that isn't necessarily the purpose of this oil. The actual purpose of it was a protective blend for your immune system, which is excellent. It just helps your immune system to be stronger and for you to ward against any type of infections or diseases, or even if you're getting a cough or a flu or a cold, this is really great to be breathing in. But it's also really good if you need your mood lifted. So I love the fragrance of this. This is actually a good one. Yeah, this is a really good one, even just to smell. I think it's the cinnamon in it that I love so much. But I will tell you what I did with this one. I was told I was going to need to get a root canal. Now, I got that through my dentist, and he said because I had an infection that was so far up in the root of my tooth, and there was nothing. There was no medications, there was no shots, there was nothing he could give me to get rid of it. They had to go in there and give me that root canal. Well, the more I read about a root canal, I just said, no, I would rather have him extract the tooth than give me a root canal. I don't want that. So I was reading about essential oils, and I was told that if I swish with this, that I could kill that infection. So away we go. What I did was I took a shot glass like this. Every day I would fill it with water, just about this 3/4 full of water. I would put 4 drops of the Armor in and 4 drops of the Melaleuca oil in it. And every single day I would put it in there and I'd go just swish, 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 probably for about 30 seconds, 60 seconds, at least twice a day. And I was very aggressive about it. And I did it over a 6-month period. And I went back in, and when I got the x-rays, they were like, your infection is gone. And I'm like, I know, right? And then he's like, well, all you need is a crown. And I'm like, I know, right? For those of you who know my background, you get that joke. Anyway, I ended up not even having a crown on my tooth. What they ended up doing was it was cracked, so they just filled it with the white stuff, not the mercury stuff, and that's it. And that's all I've had since. Now, once in a while, I'll get a little bit of a toothache, and I just think it's just the nerves being exposed, and all I do is I start swishing again. So I think it's smart to swish anyways with this every day, because it just kills the bacteria in your mouth. It keeps you fresh. It keeps your mouth clean, and just have really good oral hygiene with that. Another little tip is taking some coconut oil. I just have a container in my bathroom, and I just take a little scoop of it. I put it in my mouth before I jump in the shower, and I just swish with it. It's so good in your mouth. You can always add just a drop or 2 of the Armor in there as well, just for flavor, and also obviously for the effects of the Armor that's going to give you. But it's really good for your teeth, and it's really great oral hygiene. So if you've ever heard of pulling, that's what you're doing with the coconut oil. So okay, so that's great for your oral hygiene, the coconut in the shower. And then just one last thing, and then I'm going to let you go. But I want to talk to you a little bit about blends. So I talked to you about it being so overwhelming when I was first learning about these oils and reading, oh, I don't have that oil and I don't have that oil. Don't worry about getting the blend exact. Really, don't even worry about that. As long as you get it close, it's going to be doing the job. And some of the blends are already done for us. This is what I like about some of these blends. Now, there is a blend called Blue Heat. That would be great. You could use that in the penetrate as well. You could use that as long as you have a carrier oil with that one, because it's got the peppermint in there. Have a carrier oil for it, and you can use that to wake up your muscles as well. The Blue Heat has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 different oils in it. So it's really a powerful product, but you do need a carrier oil for that one. But what I want to talk to you is about a couple newer ones that have come out. These 2 I absolutely love. One is called Lighten and one is called Sharpen. So I've been using these day and night. So the Sharpen during the daytime, the Sharpen has 10 oils already mixed in it. And I diffuse this right in my office as I'm working in here. So I'm breathing it in all the time, all day long. And then the Lighten is 17 oils in it. And that one is for my nighttime. It's a relaxer. It's a stress relief. It's just a really great product. So they're named pretty well. Lighten is a stress blend, and Sharpen is considered the focus blend. Now, Vapor is another blend that's already done for you. And that one is a respiratory one. That one you're going to diffuse. That one has eucalyptus, peppermint, cypress, myrtle, bay, some of the ones that don't come in the individual bottles. That's also why I like the blend, is because you can still get the benefits of those particular oils in that blend. And Vitalize. Okay, so this one I've been having some fun with. The Vitalize, I am now using the same way I was using my grapefruit. And it smells so good. I absolutely love it. So what I've been doing with this is I've been mixing it with just a little bit of either almond or coconut. I like both of these fractionated oils. This coconut fractionated oil, I don't have to worry about it being a solid. It's in the liquid form all the time. But a little greasy, so I have to put it on top of a paper towel so it doesn't get all over my counter and what have you. But I just love how it makes my skin feel. So I just put a little bit in the palm of my hand, and then I take a few drops of the Vitalize, put it in there, and I put that on the sides of my body. Again, it's condensing where your fatty deposits are. So it's going to be wherever you need it. You know, some of us need to bathe in it, but on my sides of my body. And then I've also been putting it on the backs of my arms, and then also the inner thighs is another area that's a problem spot for me. So I've been doing both the grapefruit, like the grapefruit I'll do at night, and the Vitalize sometimes I'll do during the day, but I smell good. I mean, I smell like a fruit tree. It's awesome. So that is another one. And then the last one is the Peace. And this is a good one to diffuse. It's a good one that you can put on your temples. So this you can use directly. You can use it with a carrier oil. And again, I want to warn you, as far as using oils on children at all, when in doubt, please use a carrier oil. And there's some oils you shouldn't even use on children. So please get advisement before you're doing that with your kids, because like I said, these oils, they're not to be messed with. I mean, they're powerful, and they're very, very helpful and so good for your health. So I'm just looking at a few of the bottles that I have left. I think I covered absolutely everything. They always have an oil of the month, and this month it was rosemary, and there's a lot of uses for the rosemary. This is a good one for someone who is feeling a little depressed or a little bit down. You can actually use this one directly on your body too. So there's just so many different uses, and I hope to keep giving you some simple ways to use your essential oils, and just hopefully the information was helpful to you today. And I hope you have a great day, and thanks so much for listening.